the band Bob Dylan disliked touring with. Bob Dylan, celebrated as one of the greatest songwriters ever, has shaped popular music for over 60 years. With more than 100 million records sold, he stands as one of the top-selling artists and has significantly influenced the music scene. In the early 1960s, Dylan revolutionized folk music by blending it with literary elements and political themes. His lyrics departed from mainstream pop by addressing social and philosophical matters, resonating with the emerging counterculture. Dylan has released numerous acclaimed albums during his career, including Blood on the Tracks, 1975, and Time Out of Mind, 1997, the latter winning a Grammy for Album of the Year. He remains active in music today, still touring as part of his ongoing, never-ending tour, which started in the late 1980s. In 1965, Dylan's decision to go electric shocked the folk community and drew backlash from traditionalists. However, this moment is now recognized as a significant turning point that led to the emergence of folk rock and transformed modern music. By the mid-1980s, Dylan, having solidified his status as a cultural icon, encountered creative challenges. His 1985 album, Empire Burlesque, did not receive the same praise as his earlier works, prompting critics to speculate if his best years were behind him. Sadly, the 1986 follow-up, Knocked Out Loaded, was even less cohesive and poorly received. It wasn't until the arrival of 1989's Oh Mercy that Dylan regained his creative footing and began to re-establish his public image. His journey back included successful tours with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. What could lead someone like Bob Dylan, one of the most legendary and seasoned artists in rock history, to actually dislike touring with a band? The band that Dylan struggled to tour with was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. In his 2004 memoir, he expressed disappointment after an 18-month tour with them. At that time, Petty and the Heartbreakers were immensely popular, filling stadiums and dominating rock radio. Dylan first encountered Petty at Farm Aid in 1985, admiring Petty's straightforward rock sound, while Petty was thrilled to perform alongside one of his idols. Consequently, when Dylan needed a backing band for his world tour, he chose Petty and the Heartbreakers. They kicked off the True Confessions tour in 1986, covering Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and North America, with the Heartbreakers supporting Dylan throughout. They reunited the following year for the Temples in Flames tour across Europe, marking Dylan's final tour with Petty before commencing his never-ending tour. Despite their success, Dylan later reflected on this period in his memoir as one of his lowest moments. I had been on an 18-month tour with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It would be my last. I felt no connection to inspiration, whatever had been there to begin with had all vanished and shrunk. Tom was at the top of his game and I was at the bottom of mine. It wasn't my moment in history anymore. I felt an emptiness in my heart and looked forward to retiring. Just one more big payday with Petty, and I'd be done. Ultimately, Dylan persevered. Shortly after this experience, he found renewed creative energy and began his never-ending tour, a journey that would span decades and redefine the latter part of his career.